Hey guys, let me tell you about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast if you're thinking of starting one, and it's free. Yes, free. They also have a creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It's free and you can make money. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey guys, welcome back to Talk Shit with P. Today the episode 5 is about myths of online dating. And as I told you yesterday, on Saturday night, that I did have a surprise guest, a last minute guest, my dear friend who agreed to come on this episode with me. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. Hey.
Hey, Paula. Thanks for having me, man. I mean, it's been a privilege to be on your podcast. So I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Boshe, and online, a lot of people know me by Ricky Boshe, especially on Twitter. Been there for a while, and I've known Paula for a while now. We've talked. Funny enough, we've never met face to face, but we've been friends for a while. I mean, the digital world is amazing that we've connected miles apart, never seen each other, never talked face to face, but we've been good friends for a while.
Yeah. Yes, the power of Twitter. You really do make good friends from Twitter. And for those who are not on Twitter or don't know Ricky, but I'm pretty sure most of you do, he is also the president of TOT. That's Twitter, Tanzania of Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It happened like a few years ago. And whenever I tell anyone about this, they were like, what the heck happened? Like, president of Tanzania on Twitter. I mean, like, man, it's crazy. It just happened. But fun fact, president of Tanzania is on Twitter, it's a monumental title, whatever. But yeah, have the most tweets probably in East Africa. But definitely in Tanzania, the most tweets ever. I think across like 500,000 tweets already. And just a Twitter person, I guess.
And it is a big deal for you guys who don't know, because they really did campaign. It was like a normal presidential run. They went on radio stations. They presented, like, it was a big thing. So you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You won. It wasn't like you were just giving it to you. It was a whole campaign.
No. No, we had people we had Tanzanians on Twitter voting this shit off, people counting votes and everything. It was like a mock-up of democracy on how it works, and I got to know how crazy it is. I mean, you hear trying to please everyone, trying to make everyone accept you for who you are and everything. So it was a pretty fun but crazy few weeks of my life.
I think that was around the time I was getting to know you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was after your Biker Chick 89 time, but yeah, it was about that time, I guess.
I'm more humble right now.
Oh, man, wisdom comes with age, I guess.
To that. Okay, so let's get into our topic, the myths of online dating. So for you guys who, the reason why I was very happy that Ricky decided to do this with me, because he's one of the few people who actually knows almost all my crazy online dating stories, and also he has experienced some of his own online dating stories. So we figured you could get of both worlds, from my perspective as a female and from a guy's. So let's start on you, Ricky. How and why did you end up with online dating? And I'll share mine.
It's a long story, actually. I mean, after I finished university, right? I didn't find the whole appeal of finding someone from the online world. I mean, I'm used to meeting people in class, at the club and stuff like that. But when I started working, and you're working 5 days a week, right? And you only have Saturday and Sunday, and dating in the office is not recommended. The only time you can actually, meet people and like have time is like it's the online world. So I was, I'll say, risky enough to like date a few people that I follow or engage with on Twitter. So, but I didn't actually start getting on the dating app scene until I came to Germany. I mean, currently I've been in Germany for like 3 years, and this is like past 3 years is when I actually started being on the dating apps. I mean, I guess the past 3 years.
So for me, it's almost similar as you as to how and why. Like after my, I just got tired of going to the clubs. Like I hated clubs, and I really haven't met. Even in my days of clubbing, like I think when I was in high school, that was when it was fun meeting people in the club. But growing up, most of the people who I ended up meeting in the club were grown-ups acting like kids, which was not impressive. So
Yes.
I am a workaholic. Like I work 2-3 jobs, always busy, and the little time I have is to myself. Or I treasure more of my girl times. Like I just want to spend time with the girls. So it really didn't give me much room to meet guys. So I was like, oh, in the beginning when I came to America, I was really scared about online dating. But then my best friend, Rachel, she was into it. She was not scared about meeting people. She's the reason who her support and seeing how she did it was like, oh, okay, cool. She's fine. She hasn't been killed. She hasn't been kidnapped. She's still here. And I was like, cool. Let me try myself. And it's been a journey.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, I can totally relate to the fact of, after a certain age, man, like you go to the club and you're like turning up and you're seeing all these people wilding out in front of you and you're like, was I like that? And you're like, will I approach that girl over there that's wilding out right there? And you're like, oh, shit, I'm too old for this shit, right? And then you go back home and you realize tomorrow is Sunday. And then on Monday, you have to go back to work and you don't have time to meet people, right? And you're like, hey, I have this phone with me 24/7 and there's this app there that I can meet people. And it just made it easier with me. So I think the fact that I was on Twitter and I dated 2 or 3 people from Twitter, no names mentioned, it made me easier to, adjust myself to being, hey, I just met this person on social media or online, and then, let's hook up, like, let's find out what's going on. And, so it made it easier when I came to Germany and I don't have friends in Germany. I mean, I don't speak German for shit. And it was like, this app has, chances of you filtering out who you could meet. And I was like, okay, let's just go on this app space and see what's up. So yeah, the past 3 years have been like a crazy up and down roller coaster on these dating apps.
Yeah, it really is. Would you say you believe online dating is actually better and it works?
Oh, that's a hard question. I mean, I found a person that I really thought that I could marry. Like I usually don't tell these people. I don't tell people this. The fact of I'm not married yet, obviously. But like I found a person I was like, I could get married to this person. I found her on Twitter, right? And that made me realize like, hey, I don't have to go in the old school conventional way of approaching a person face to face to actually decide if I'm going to marry a person. So yeah, I mean, I find there is perks to meeting a person online. It makes it easier for me since I can filter out a person without having to go on the first day, second day, third day to know this person doesn't believe, for example, in climate change, or this person is like anti-religion or whatever. So online, I can just filter that. I can filter all that nonsense and the noise out. By the time I actually meet the person, I know, okay, this is a person that I can actually kick it off with. So I think online dating has made it easier for me on some levels. So yeah,
me too. I believe to me actually it's been better and it works. Just like you, there has been one guy who I actually saw myself marrying and shifting my life upside down for that.
The magic guy, spoiler alert, there's a magic guy somewhere. There's a magician there.
You do know this is going to be live on people, right?
I mean, come on, they gotta know, like no names being mentioned and all, but like reputations, they're like magic person out there.
As much as that person brought magic to my life, and shout out, I will always have a dear heart for him, but not really, not him. It's actually the last one.
Oh, okay.
I don't want him to sue me as a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
So. But the reason why I say,
Wow. Okay. Go on.
I say
Keep
it's
telling us.
better and it works. Well, I have seen, like, I have a lot of friends, some who have met their partners in Tinder and they're married, in Bumble and they're married, and they've been together for 2 years. And the most biggest one that happened recently, and which I witnessed, my housemate met hers on Hinge, and they started dating in December and they got engaged last Sunday on Mother's Day. So I do believe if you find somebody who actually is looking for what you're looking for, because they're also cycles, so you can't just go in there and expecting the first.
Definitely.
But I do believe
Definitely, I have like stories about that.
It
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
So I will ask you this. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like a funny thing, like it's good that you're mentioning all these names of these dating apps. I came to Europe, Tinder is the world known, renowned dating app and everything. And I remember like once I was talking to Paula. Sorry for the listeners. I was talking to Paula about obviously women troubles that I was having here and adjusting to Europe, the climate, winter and everything. I was mini depressed, and she was like, I met this guy on Bumble and I was like, what the fuck is Bumble? And she was like, yo, there's this dating app called Bumble. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me check that out. So I get on my phone and I get this dating app. It's called Bumble. Obviously, it's about the bee or whatever. And lo and behold, it's actually, personally, if you told me like how I rate dating apps, I would say Bumble is way above Tinder for me personally. Because one huge fact, guys, if you're tired of sending the first hello and being judged by the first pickup line, Bumble actually makes it the woman's job to say the first word. So like if you match a person on Bumble, you just have to wait for them to speak up, right? So I was really tired of that Tinder shit where like you match a person and you have to be really funny with the pun there, play with a name or something, say something real funny like come over or whatever to get noticed. But Bumble just made that shit easy. Bumble was way better for me. And the person who actually recommended it was Paula. So like, yeah, Paula is responsible for, I would say, 2 or 3 body counts in my life. So shout out to Paula for that. I mean, yeah, like definitely there.
Body counts on me.
I mean, yeah, like, Paula, you indulge on my nonsense, right? From the real stuff, like me being semi-depressed due to the weather and everything, to the nonsense of dating life and everything. So yeah, 2 or 3 body counts are thanks to you and introducing me to Bumble and stuff. So like, yeah, shout out to you.
Thank you. Actually, since you already went into there, let's talk about that. So for me, the apps that I have personally used, right? It's been Bumble, Tinder, Match, Hinge, and OkCupid. I have not used eHarmony.
Oh, that's a lot. That's girl. That's a lot. That's like variety there, right there.
The Wise and whatever. I've not used eHarmony. I've not used Zusk. And there's this other one called Seeking Arrangement. Apparently in there you seek whatever arrangement you want. So sugar daddies, sugar babies, and all that.
Wow.
But out of these 5 ones that I have used, right? Match, I stopped using it because I hear it's good, but you have to pay to get the very good choices, and I'm not paying shit for nothing. So I Match. But OkCupid gave me my first online relationship, like a person I met online and dated for like 8-9 months. So to me, I had good hopes on it because the first guy I met in there, and he was my first white boyfriend. So it turned out very good. Like until today, we are very good friends, and I'm watching his dog next weekend. Yay! I can't wait. But we have had our ups and downs of friendship after the breakup, but he still checks in on me and stuff. And that's the thing I like about online dating. There's some relationships didn't work out, but I ended up making very good friends out of it. Like, okay, we went on a date, it didn't work out, but we kept in touch, and I've learned a lot of things. But Bumble will always be my top tier because I met all the dopest people on Bumble, all nice people. Okay, Cupid, I just keep it because people can message you even without matching you. And because the sarcastic in me sometimes just wants to match to respond to your stupid message just because I can't. Like, I seriously, and even on my app, I wrote that if we don't feel special if we match. Sometimes I match just to respond to messages, and that's the truth. Like some messages people write shit and you're like, did you actually really say that? And because I'm such a sarcasm person, I just can't let it go. Like, I feel bad if I do. Like, I didn't do my duty. And Tinder.
Wow. I know. I mean, like, yeah, just go on. I'll tell you after you're done with the breakdown of the apps.
For me is it's really mostly a hookup. I don't think I've been in a relationship with anybody from Tinder or dated anybody from Tinder. Half of the people in there, I find them hassles, and I've realized I love assholes. Like almost all my exes have the same criteria. They're assholes. But then I love the good kind of assholes. You know, like I can say, oh my God, you're such an asshole, and be like, aw. But then there's those really like, damn, you're an asshole. Like, I don't even want to be next to you. That's Tinder. Tinder has assholes. And even though I've met some people who have been my friends, like, we went on a date and I realized, yeah, now you're too much of an asshole for me. And we stayed friends. We are no longer friends today. Like almost everybody I met on Tinder, we are no longer friends today because there's so much of an asshole. Like, damn, Tinder is just the ghetto of dating apps. But then there's some people who do say they found their loved ones on Tinder. So I think you gotta be extra patient or something. But lately, my apps are Bumble and Hinge. Hinge is also kind of good. And the fact that my housemate met his soulmate on Hinge kind of gives me hope. So Hinge is also kind of goodish. So those are my kind of apps. Just there to promote my podcast. Like, I'm not even... I just advertised my podcast.
Wow, that's a hustler right there. That's a hustle. That's a hustler right there. I mean, that's game. I mean, 5 apps. I mean, I think you are also the person who actually recommended OkCupid to me. I mean, I got 1 or 2 bodies on OkCupid also, so I think that's 5 bodies, whatever. But like, you are the person like
the when I started dating that first guy from OkCupid, everybody.
Oh yeah. That's how. I mean, you remember you told me about questions about that. They're like, a person answers questions and then you match according to the questions. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's not like Tinder where you like judge a person from the face, So so yeah, I remember I got on Cupid. And I was like, you could pick a person if they're right wing, left wing, if they love marijuana or not, if they are about global warming or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I can filter out a person according to, their ideals. And that's why I told you, like, it's so easy to, go on an app, filter a person according to the ideals and, things that they like or not. It's totally different. The game has really changed from these dating apps. I mean, I've had way more misses than hits on these dating apps, but it's like the way Drake. It's like the way Drake says it. Like it's a chink in his armor, right? Every loss that you take, every L that you take, is a learning curve, and I think, for example, I've learned a lot from these online dating apps, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I've been in Germany, like I said, I've been in Germany for 3 years. The dating scene is a bit wonky and a bit weird because, first of all, I don't speak the language and I'm a minority. So I've never been in my life. I've never been a minority in anything. I mean, yeah, I've been back home. I'm way taller than everyone else, but here I'm black and everyone is white. So how am I navigating that? Dating. I mean, I've seen in ATL where you are in Georgia. It's like there are black people way more, I think, in Georgia than the whole of Germany, from what I've seen. It's like, how am I moving about dating a white person, an Asian person, a Latino? And I'm like, this is something that I've never done before. So, like shout out to you to introducing me to more dating apps. Like I said before, and like I've learned
Me
a
too.
lot
The
in 3 years.
dating app, to
That's
me
that.
also, they've given me friendships that I never knew I could eventually I could have ever gotten if I wasn't on dating apps. Like there's some guys that I would just text to them, be like, "Hey, listen to this and let me know how it is." Hey, I had a guy who I met, and it's funny because I've lived in UK for 5 years, but I've never dated a British guy until I was in America. Weird, but yes, that happened. And I met him on online dating, and it didn't work out. But he was among the first guys I met that we still talk until today. I check him on his dog and stuff, but he pushed me. There was a job I was scared about applying. He pushed me. I got it. I was scared about promotion. He told me, "Paula, you let me hear your idea." I ran the idea to him, was like, "Go to your manager and say it." And I did, and it ended up being a thing, but I ended up leaving the company. But he gave me that push. I met another guy who I never believed in magic, and he brought magic in my life. Like real, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm hoping one day he comes to my podcast and talks about
That was literal magic. That was literal magic. It wasn't like it's not like a saying. It's like he literally brought magic into your life. I still stand that relationship. It was amazing. You sending me videos of like card tricks and like magic trick. I'm like, yo, amazing, man! Like you're dating a magician. That's everyone's dream, I guess.
Rachel met this person because she got the chance to hang out with them for like 2-3 hours. She was shocked. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, Paula, if you would have told me this, I would have not believed it. Like, and he ended up being a nice person, even through whatever we went through. Like afterwards, I told him about my podcast and stuff. He was very supportive, and I'm hoping one day he comes to my podcast and talk everything magic. If you're listening to this, yes, please holla at me.
Yeah, I mean, like fam, like that would be amazing. Like if you had brought back, like like if like your relationship had worked and like Corona had not happened, and you had brought back a magician back home, a white sensei magician back home, yo, people would be lining up. People, yeah, exactly. People would be lining up like, Paula brought back Mchawi, like, yo, Harry Potter shit, like, yeah, like it would have been crazy. Like you bringing back a white boyfriend who's like a magician, and that's like his job, and he's being paid for that. I know, and that was something that I learned, like the diversity that you come through. A dating app can never be matched because like when you go to the club, you are meeting people who love clubbing, right?
Shit.
If you go to same circle, that's the thing. But when you go on a dating app, I've met an astrophysicist, and I was like, wow, I've met people who are funny thing. Like I've met weirdos, like you said. Like I remember last time I was like when just the corona was starting, I was just chilling and like doing my shit like home office. And then my Tinder was like, you got a match, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me check what's up. And then this white girl, she's from LA, obviously, but she's studying in Germany. Her first message was like, "You got weed," and I was like, "What?" So like that, there's that notion like that. That's subtle racism. Like he's a black guy, so he's got weed. So she was just looking for a weed connect during Corona to. Yeah, she's just looking for a plug, right? Ain't nothing special. She's just looking for some weed plug to make sure that her supply is filled up during Corona. I was like, no, I do not. I mean, I do have weed connects here, and funny thing, he's just Spanish. He's Catalonian. Shout out to Sebastian. But and I was like, no, I don't have weed. That was just a weird confrontation. That's why I'm saying like these apps give you a wider circle for you to play and dip your toes or whatever you want to dip inside, and you get to just to meet people. So I tell people, I mean, I have a friend back home, and she was against dating anyone online, and she's on Twitter and everything. We talk about a lot, and she was like, no, but she started working real hard, and she started realizing meaningful connections can come up from online. She texts me one day, she says, you know what, Ricky, you're right. You can get into a relationship with a person online, and I've learned. And I was like, yo, power to you, girl. You've seen the light, right? And to me, and that's the most important thing. Try and learn from whatever aspect that you can.
I've had 2 or 3 friends, I'm not going to mention their names because maybe they don't want to be known they're doing online dating. But they're in Tanzania who have asked me like, oh my God, especially when I've dated somebody, where did you meet him? I'm like, online. And I'm so happy that I'm not in a place that I'm so scared to say I met somebody online. No, fuck, that's where I met him, yes. And I'll give you the
Yeah,
app
yeah.
also where I met him. Shout out to Bumble, which gave me all my good relationships. And okay, Cupid. But as I was saying, like these online datings, they do make you meet people you would have never met. Like I wouldn't have never met a magician in my life if it wasn't for Bumble.
I know, right? But you'd never go to a
Hell
magician
no.
show anyways. So you'd never meet a person like that. So this app just showed you, hey,
I know.
have some
And
magic in your
he
life.
did give
Literally,
magic.
get some magic in your life.
Some
Boom.
good and some bad, but he gave magic in my life. Like also my last relationship, this man taught me how to be patient and considerate. The other one taught me how to be kind. So all these people who came into my life, they taught me something that I'm so grateful for these online apps. And the other reason I like Bumble
Yeah, definitely.
is
I totally
because
get what you mean.
I like shooting my shot. Like even before Bumble, there was one guy who I dated. I shot my shot on him on Instagram. So I'm a firm believer in shooting your shot. Like you shouldn't wait for a man to. If you like it, go for it, girl. Like don't wait for like unless I don't know. But I'm a firm believer in. You don't have to say, hey, I want you. I like you. Just be like,
We
hey,
need,
what's up? You wanna hang this weekend? Or hey, what you up to? You know, and just let the conversation flow. So that's why I like Bumble. I think because I get to send the first message, and I like the fact that it gives you 24 hours. So if that
yeah,
person doesn't respond in 24 hours, it just goes off. On to the next. Compared to Tinder or
yeah,
other things
exactly,
that people
exactly.
just stay in your on your sign for almost a month without saying anything.
On your feed, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Bumble literally tells you, like, yo, dude, you've got 24 hours to respond to this, or 24 hours to hit up this person, and that's it was a relief to me. I mean, I think I have one, like, I think they extended it to 48 hours during Corona. Shout out to Bumble again. I swear Bumble needs to get all the flowers, fam. They just extended it to 48 hours. They introduced
I
online
love the
games during
online
Corona,
games.
so
I've been
if you don't
playing
have
them.
anything to talk with the person, and then exactly. Bumble is just showing you games to play with the person, and like, yeah, you can meet up, you can have meaningful connections without, physically meeting a person. So, like I said, it's been a joyride. I've met people from like different. I mean, yeah, I'm studying in a very multinational class. But like I said, dating in the class is really forbidden. Dated one
Yeah,
girl,
you
ended up
never.
badly. But yeah, the app, yo, don't remind me, like, you remember it. I even told another friend of yours because it was crazy at that time. But anyways, but the app really helped me get through the worst of times and the best of times. Honestly, I'll just say, to anyone who doesn't believe out there, to anyone who doesn't believe into dating apps or meeting a person online, I get it, and I respect you for where you're coming through. I mean, we all have different upbringings and all have different approaches. But to anyone who's into that life, do not feel ashamed. Do not feel scared about that life. Uh, you're meeting another person. You're not dating an AI or a robot or a sex doll. At the end of the day, it's just another person in another space who feels like they can also meet a valuable person online who are there, other human beings. Just get on there, find a person who matches to whatever kinks or whatever you're into, meet up, talk to that person, and who knows, man. You can get married, you can get
Yes.
babies out of that. You can get it. I don't know. You can get anything
And
out
the
of this
good thing
dating
with
app.
Bumble,
So
it
go for
also
it.
has it has three columns. It has the dating, it has the BFF, and it has the company business place. So even if you're looking for new friends or different friends, or you moved into a different area and you don't know people, Bumble has the BFF option. Trust me, I've tried it, and it also has
Yep.
the promoting
Yep.
business, which I actually had forgotten. So now I should go check it for my podcast. But Bumble is a good deal. I tell that to everybody. And people, LinkedIn is not a dating site. Please, let's make that clear.
Yeah, that it's crazy about LinkedIn, fam. Like, it's crazy because like I wrote a blog post 2 weeks ago. It became a bit popular. One of the best LinkedIn posts I've written for a while. And then you get a lot of people come through and read your LinkedIn profile, right? And you have all sorts of people. You have recruiters there, you have bosses there, you have coworkers, you have friends, you have schoolmates there. And then all of a sudden, some weirdo sneaks in, and they're trying to date you, or they're trying to throw their shot at you through LinkedIn. So yeah, I'm a guy, so obviously I don't get thrown as many shots as a girl. So you might have way more experience than I do. But I've seen the crazies that using an app like LinkedIn for throwing shots or making a move on the person. So it's kind of like, hey, fam, like cut that out, like time out on that shit. So you can speak more on that, but yeah, I try to understand what you mean.
Hey, Mambo, Upati, what you up to? Like, bro, no, if you either you have a business plan for me, or you want to hire me, or you're asking for jobs or whatever, don't ask me where I am or what I'm doing, especially if we don't know each other, bro. No. Go find me on Facebook or whatever, and then send me, and you might not get responded, because nah. But yes, LinkedIn is not a dating site. And for you Christians out there, there's eHarmony and Christian Mingle. Trust me, I hear it works. So if you think this Tinder and Bumble and Match are not good for you because you're too deep in your religion, eHarmony, Christian Mingle got you covered. Okay? Now,
like it's just before you jump to the next point, I mean, like, yeah, you brought the religion thing, and one thing I would say about Europe is like the thing that blew my mind, right? It's people here are not as religious as I believed, right? I mean, and I'm living in Bavaria, which is like the church capital of Germany. And I'm like, yo, like these guys brought us religion through, the missionaries before colonialism. And these people aren't that religious. Like I've been updated like 3-4 girls, and they are all not about religion at all. So don't be afraid of going online just because you ain't religious, or because religious people will judge you different. Do your thing.
Since Corona is closed, have you had Europe or America people complaining about churches and mosques being closed, other than Africa, especially Tanzania?
No, it's all us back home, fam. Like I think it's like I'm gonna go into my Dr. Umar right now, and I think the white people brought us religion to divide us. They brought us religion to divide us. But no, jokes aside, do what you wanna do, religion in or religion out. Do what you wanna do, and live your life. I mean, if anything, Corona has taught us is life is unpredictable. Life can be short.
Mind about people judging you.
Be
as
with
long
the people
as you're
that you
happy
love.
and you're living, bruh, you're gonna sit there complaining about there are no men, you're single.
Definitely.
But there's so many men online. So
I mean, yeah, raising my hand right here. So many men online. One of them, right?
Ricky is single
Ricky
and
Boshe,
looking, so
it's like Ricky. It's like at Ricky on Twitter. Come through, fam. Like,
just
yeah.
me. Trust me, I have all of his details, and I will gladly send you to him. Trust me. As you see,
move on, Paula, move on.
I already have so many bodies on account. So let me just up my number at this point.
Yeah, I know, right?
But let's get to the last point. Which
exactly.
one for people who are scared and for their safeties with online dating? Because as I said, just because I've been lucky and blessed that I have yet to meet a crazy person, and which is very grateful. And I think because I also follow my intuition, if I feel something is off, I really don't come meet you. I just whatever. How would you recommend to people staying safe with online dating, you as a man, in your man's perspective, and I'll give them mine?
First of all, I want to say something is like, we have not been paid by Bumble, all right? But I'm going to give another shout out. No, seriously, I'm going to give another shout out to Bumble, right? Bumble verifies people real fast. So whenever I go to when I want to use the dating app and I want to meet the person that I know, is relatively safe, I use Bumble because it has this verification thing, and it's really, really useful. So Bumble verifies people real well. So usually the first thing is watch out for the catfishes, right? If the images are way too good to be true, it's usually, they're way too good to be true. And I'm not speaking about, filters or anything. I'm speaking about like downloaded images from, Google and all that bullshit, right? And always look out for people who have bios, like the information is not like, it's not well structured, right? And also people who have overly sexualized images on their profile pictures, and I know guys love to, have that, like that, without a t-shirt, whatever pictures. Paul, you're going to talk about that. But for guys, when you're looking at girls, watch out for girls that have like 3-4 pictures that are just bikini shots or whatever. And when you're engaging a person on any app and you're planning to meet that person, the first meeting should always be in a public place. I know we get horny or whatever. We have needs, and some of us aren't looking for that long-term shit. But when you're meeting a person, meet that person during daytime as much as possible and in a very public place. It could be the mall, I don't know, in a bar, in a coffee shop. Coffee shops are the best because if the person bails, coffee is fucking cheap and you don't have to worry about the bill or anything else. So meet a person in a very open space. And for those who are, engaging people on public apps like, Twitter or Facebook or whatever, make sure that the person that you're engaging has a social circle, right? You know that this person knows this other person, like they've met, like person A has met person B. So if you want to date person B, ask around, like, but don't make it sound creepy like you're stalking a person, but just ask around, how is this person? Is this person for real? Is this person not, trying to spam me or catfish me? So I say those are like more or less the, tricks. And one last pointer, I know my brothers from back home are always saying this. Brothers back home in Tanzania, I know Tinder is filled with working girls that are trying to get their money, and always communicate with this person before meeting them. Make sure you're not getting hassled or you're not getting yourself into something that you cannot handle. So that's just my advice of being safe on the dating scenes out there.
So mine would be like, first of all, I don't swipe to any guy who just has their chest out, like no shirts or anything. If you constantly have pictures of you with your chest out without a shirt, that's a no-no, because we already know what you want and you might not be real. Second, if I'm already talking to you, we've matched and we're planning on meeting, as you said, Bumble really is safe. They have verification. So if you're not verified, I know some people don't verify, but they're real. I will either ask for your social media account, or like, I normally don't tend to give my number out until after the date. If the date goes well and I like it, then you get my number. But I will constantly communicate with you through the app until after the date. So, but then there's also this thing, Kik. I downloaded Kik just to give people my app name so they can send me pictures or videos instead of giving them the number. There's some people who are not on social media, so they don't have social media accounts. So, which is fine. So I will on there, and you can also call on there. So at least let me hear you. And also, if I'm suspicious, follow your gut. If you feel something is off, stay home. The other thing, Rachel and Alvin, I always, wherever I'm going on my date, one of them will either get a picture of the person I'm going to meet, the Uber I used to go meet, and where I'm meeting them. And I will tell them if in 2-3 hours you haven't heard from me, please check on me. So at least they know where I am and who the last person I was. So always tell somebody. And lately, what I've realized was my apartment complex has a meeting room where there's a pool table, and a coffee machine. So sometimes I meet people there or in my pool area, because our apartment is very secure. You need a key to enter everywhere. So to enter my building, you need a key for the gate. To enter the pool, you need a key, but you can enter through the main gate, like the office gate. So they'll enter through the office gate, meet me at the pool. And then if I want to leave, I can just leave. They still don't know what building I live on or whatever. At least it's safe and around. Or even if I'm going to a bar or somewhere, like, I will let somebody know. That's how you keep safe. Always tell somebody. Make sure somehow you communicate to them. either don't give out your number unless you're sure, but find a way to check their Instagram or Twitter just to make sure you're not catfish, because you would hate to go somewhere and then not meet somebody or just be stuck there. And also, whenever I go on a date, even when I know the guy is paying, I make sure I have the money to pay just in case, because the date can go.
Yeah.
Hold on. The dates can go wrong in the middle, or the guy, because it's a first date and online, because he doesn't feel you say, yeah, separate checks. So just be prepared for whatever. So that's why whenever somebody tells me, let's meet here, I always Google the place if I've never been and check the menu. If I don't have enough to make sure, I will just be like, yeah, I don't like that place, so I've been there and I never enjoyed it. Can we go here? So make sure don't go to places where you can't afford or you don't have the budget for it and end up being stuck with something you're not prepared for. Anything is possible with online dating.
This is another side topic. It's a huge topic, but what Paula said is really true. I know guys that, not even know, like, these are guys that are know physically that trap girls that way, like take you to an expensive ass place, and they know damn sure you cannot pay for that shit, and girls fall for that. So please, please, please make sure as much as possible you go to a place where you can either afford to, carry yourself should things go badly, or should a person stand you up, where you can afford to pay for. That's why I said, like, a coffee place, cheap ass latte, like €3, whatever. It's cheap. You can afford that. Go to that place. It's a public place. Like Paula says, she has a place where it's a pool table, it's a pool room, so it's easier to, it's accessible, it's free. You don't need to spend so much. You don't need to, break the cupboard and find the most appealing outfit or whatever. So, like I said, stay safe when you're meeting a person. Stay safe on these dating apps, and stay safe. If you do take that person back home, for one reason or another, stay safe out there.
I even told Alvin, and he laughed at me. It was just January. I just came back home from it was Christmas, New Year. I just ended. You paid rent. Like, I really was brokish. So this guy I met online wanted to invite me to SKT, the steak place, and I looked at the menu and I was like, oh, okay. As much as I love steak, this is not on my budget, including my Uber to go and come back, and the price of the meal, and a few drinks. Bruh, I would be spending almost $200. I was like, I'm in the mood to watch a movie. So we ended up going on a movie date. At least a movie, bro. You're already paying for the ticket. If you leave me inside there, it's all good, I'm fine.
Definitely,
and the
yep.
cinema
Yep.
is $10 Uber to go and come back. I can afford that. But then it turned out to be a very good date. We ended up being together for 4 months. And I did make him take me back to the steakhouse. So once I knew him. And so make sure the first date is something casual. Don't overdo it unless you have money to bail yourself out, just in case. So always prepare yourself. And ladies, with everything that's going on, always carry pepper spray or anything. But also Tinder and Bumble, I've put a safety app on them. So like when you decide to, the person you're talking to, you decide to go out with, there's an icon on there where you click and you put your details of where you're going, who you and the date you're going with. So even that Tinder and Bumble, they know where you are, just in case. And then when you get there and you feel like somebody's whatever, you press on the icon and tell them it's a cycle. And so I haven't used this, so I don't know exactly how it works, but somehow there is that. So make sure you explore that as well, and just find ways to take care of yourself. Don't assume just because somebody's talking to you nice on the internet is nice.
Yeah. Like, listen, like ladies out there and even guys out there, listen to Paula. Like, she knows what she's talking about. Like, she's responsible for like after I added OkCupid, it's like she's responsible for 4 or 5 bodies in my body count. So she knows what she's talking about. It's like you said, it's all about you being in a good place, being satisfied, being who you are, dating people. But at the end of the day, just first things first, always ensure you're safe, always ensure your partner's safety.
Another thing,
enjoy
also
your
be
life
very
and be who
clear
you are.
on what you're looking for. Because trust me, on those online apps, there's people are looking for all sorts of things. So your whatever you're looking for is there. Just make it clear so that you don't waste your time or anybody's time. I have
Yep.
seen a lot of things what people are looking for, because as I said, sometimes I swipe when I'm bored, like I'll just be waiting for a meeting, or I have 15-minute break, or I'm just bored in my bed. So sometimes I swipe. The thing, and sometimes I just swipe for fun to see if I'm gonna match them or whatever. The amount of these couples who are matching me for threesome is amazing. Like I didn't know I'm that big ticket for threesome. But shout out to all the couples who keep on matching me. Like I just match you back just
Oh,
to see, and it's been a very good booster for my.
your life is good, Paula. Your life is good. Like all these like invitation for threesomes. I mean, like your life is good. Like I haven't reached those levels. I mean, I'm
Hey,
not trying to
I
be
think
whatever,
it
but like,
pays
yo,
to
your
be a
life is good.
tiny,
Like,
small
shout out to
guy.
you.
So, and especially when they see that body of boxing with some six packs, 4 6 packs, they kind of go crazy. So, I did not know how many white people liked small girls until I started dating white people. So it's crazy. But yeah, online dating, I am a big advocate for online dating.
Same here. Same here. I mean, I'll tell you like what we finished our ending note was about safety, but yeah, once you get the safety in place and you have I would say methodology, like Paula said, you know what you want and you know who your target audience is. Go for it. I mean, it's the best. I would say personally, it's been the best experience. Dating experience that I've had has come from online dating, and I've learned so much from the people that I've met online, not just in the bedroom, but other places as well. I mean, like whatever, another topic. But yes, be safe, have fun out there, and give online dating a chance if you've never done
So,
so,
so
and
to end this
see
topic,
what
I'm assuming
happens.
we're supposed to
Basically,
recommend our favorite online dating. So, with all what we have said, I'm assuming both me and Ricky agree that Bumble is the shit.
yes, yes. I mean, if you're a guy who likes, to take charge, find a bit of weirdos, and like throw the first shot, stick to Tinder. But personally, I like Bumble. It's way cleaner, even in the images and everything. The questions and bios are way better. The verification for safety is really good. They even have a feature right now that it
Oh
shows you
yeah,
if a person
the
is just flying
standby
over.
at the
So this
airport.
person is
Yeah,
not
that's
there for
pretty
a
cool.
full week. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's funny because I live in a city. I live in a city which is like 15 minutes from the airport, and people fly over here. So I can meet the person who's just here for like for 6 hours, and then like there's nothing's gonna happen after that. So it has so many features which are really good, and I would say for a dating site, for a dating app, get yourself
All right.
Bumble
And on
and
that note, I want to
be
thank,
good.
before I thank Ricky and end this, I want to give a big shout out to my husband Chimora and our boyfriend Ollie for getting engaged last Sunday on Mother's Day. Congratulations. Shout out to him for
Yo, shout
making
out
that
to them.
happen instead online dating. Also,
I'm not looking to get paid, and I'm just gonna do like research. I'm gonna check out that app. Not that I'm gonna do anything, but I'm just gonna check out that app. Like, what's up with Hinge, fam?
yeah,
Like,
tell
and
my
I'm gonna share
husband boy
feedback
live on
maybe
here.
or
It's
not.
free.
So thank you, Paulo, again. Like, no, fam. I'm just saying, like, thank you for sharing more resources. Finding out what the game in the streets is
And
saying and
thank you
everything.
very
So
much. And
shout
for
out to you too,
anybody out
fam.
there who's listening to this episode, if you have stories of online dating, if you and your partner met on online dating, please holla at me. I would love to have you share your story on my platform. All stories are welcome, good or bad. I am here for you people. Let's talk this shit out. Ricky, thank you for joining me. Thank you. Even though it was a last minute, I appreciate you and I love you so much.
No, Paula, thank you, fam. Like I keep saying, like you have held me down for like 3 years since the first winter I had here, and I was mini depressed and so it's been fun. And I mean, jumping on this podcast, I was scared and shy at first, but talk me through it, and I was like, okay, I'll jump on and speak about my experiences on the dating app. apps, and I've enjoyed it, and I've had
You're
mad fun
welcome,
right
and
now.
thank you
So thank
for
you for having
fencing
me.
my legs, because I think that's what made our friendship better. Also, also for people
Girl,
who
that's
don't
another
know,
topic. That's another
Ricky also
podcast
started
on
his
its
own
own.
podcast. He talks everything football, but it's only. Why are you doing it in
Oh
Swahili?
yeah. I mean, a lot of people have been saying I don't give much love to the people back home on Swahili, because my tutor is mostly, I speak English on my tutor because I have a huge fan base outside of Tanzania. But the thing is, I felt like there is a lack of, a lot of people back home don't have the same access to information and stuff that I do, being in Germany. And the soccer season, football season is almost back after the Corona madness. So I thought that, you know what, I'm going to talk about the thing that I love about the most, other than dating apps, which is obviously football. So I said, I'm going to talk about football. And I started this podcast, the so-called Mad About Football podcast, whereby I talk about football. So I started about the Bundesliga, which is the league in Germany. So I decided to make it in Swahili, to cater for the people back home who are massive Swahili speakers, obviously. So I'm going to keep English for your podcast. Special girl, you're going to get my special English from primary English medium schools and all that shit. But my Swahili is gonna go. My broken Swahili is gonna go to my football podcast app, and I might jump onto other 1, 2, 3 other apps, other podcasts. But yeah. So
Always.
thank you
So
for the shout
people,
out for
you heard it
my football
first.
podcast.
Ricky has more podcasts coming up, but for now, it's the football in Swahili. So if you're a football fan and you're a Swahili fan and you're Tanzanian, please go show some love to him. All right. Peace out. Yeah.